whether you're struggling with overego or underego. Shiny key syndrome.
What? Oh, sorry.
Pulls sometimes the worst.
Yeah.
And what do you feel is a great tool to help people in terms of balancing their ego? Well, as you were talking about, observing the outside of self and the subtleties, but not getting so caught up in the shiny key that's pulling our attention and almost makes us unconscious. And so it really can immediately dive and dig into our insecurities, or and then pull out that overego to overcome, compensate for that. What's a way to pull back, to get out of their own way?
Yeah.
And find that balance, because right now in our lives there are I'm sure people are dealing with it constantly. There's so many shiny keys out there for all of us, pulling us in 1,000 directions, and it can feel so stressful, especially when we don't know who we are, on where to go. How do we identify a shiny key versus something that's actually a part of our path?
There are so many different, just like there are so many shiny keys, there are so many ways to pull back.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all so unique that we really need to find the one that fits.
There's a place to start.
So to offer some starting points,
yeah.
I know we talk about positive affirmation a lot, or having something that can be a go-to.
Mm-hmm.
So when all of these shiny things start pulling you outside of self, having a phrase that you can go to that recenters you back into self.
Yes.
Like knowing who you are. What is that one phrase? Like for me, it is, I am love. Mm-hmm. Or just the aham prema, that mantra, just helps pull me back. Just counting to 3 before you respond to something. Taking that few seconds before you make a choice. Because sometimes we're so quick to react and make a choice that it might not be the one that thoroughly aligns with our heart. So if we just, okay, I'm not going to make the choice immediately. I'm going to count to 3, feel what I desire, then make the choice. Or taking a breath as you count to 3, like, okay, let me feel this through. Not think, but feel, then think. So that it aligns the heart and the mind, which is our focus. Mm-hmm. If you are someone who can do meditation or prayer, mm-hmm. taking the time on a regular interval so that you train yourself to have shutdown time. Mm-hmm. It helps with so many different things, but it keeps you connected within so that you still have that space that's within you. There's no compensating outside of self for that sacred time within self, however you find it. Even if it's just that you go for a walk and that's your time to yourself, because sitting and doing meditation and prayer does not fit for you. Take a walk, that's fine, but find something that helps you connect within yourself.
I love that. I feel like that's a really good takeaway. Find something that really helps you connect with yourself, however that looks. So those are beautiful examples to help people, I feel, really, because someone listening right now might gravitate more towards one of them. So I really appreciate you bringing some of those examples up. But for those of you who didn't quite resonate with any of those, I think that's a great takeaway. And I feel like the journal that is available this month, our free download, does actually have some of those in there so that people can actually practice real time.
Yeah, so the journal this month is all about, one, understanding what aligning ego even means, right? Mm-hmm. So what is the difference between our soul and our ego? Mm. And then going through, okay, what is your current state of your ego? And is it what you desire it to be in different categories, from personal to professional, to social, to familial. How are you showing up from an ego standpoint? And then taking the time to, okay, so this is where you are currently. Where would you like to be? If you're already there, wonderful. But if not, how do you get from where you are to where you would desire to be? And there's checklists, there are daily and weekly plans that you can navigate through. So it's a pretty in-depth resource this month because we all navigate through ego.
Right.
Right.
And it's a lot. And there's a lot of questions. We're poking our own self. It's hard not to feel that, like hurting our own ego just to get through it in some ways, because we're like, man, I don't want to see myself as this. I've struggled with that. And so just learning how to get through that really can make a difference, because it can really open yourself up to who you are. And when you're able to gift yourself with who you are, the best part is that you're able to gift others. And that is, in many ways for me, the divine gift that we get to see when people choose their authentic selves. They're vulnerable, that which we talked about last month, and how important that is. And that's why balancing ego and understanding self is such a great next step, because authenticity and vulnerability can help you create and understand who you are and the very best version of yourself.
Yes. Diving into ego definitely requires you to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to take that clear look at where you are.